What's up, fam? Welcome back. Today we are looking at 13 reggae and dancehall child stars who burst on the scene at a very young age and went on to become superstars. These persons were undeniably talented and they attained stardom at a very young age. Some are still making hits and holding down their own in the music industry. Some have taken a hiatus. And then there are a few who have transitioned from this life. So, without any further ado, let us get right into the video. Starting off the list at number 13 is Delroy Wilson. He is recorded as Jamaica's first child star because he was only 13 when he started recording music while still attending Boys Town Primary. And he was barely out of short pants when he came under the guidance of record producer and future Studio One boss Clement Coxsone Dodd to record his first set of songs in 1962. Boy wonder Delroy Wilson arrived just in time to record a flurry of songs that helped to re-establish Dodd as the #1 producer of the 60s after King Buster threatened to dethrone him with songs like One Hand Wash the Other, to which Wilson responded. It was a blistering response in which he sang, "Don't you criticize, your name is Joe Ligges. One hand wash the other, but you don't remember your brother." Wilson followed up with several other aimed at Buster. They included Spit in the Sky, I Shall Not Remove, and King Pharaoh, in which Coxsone Dodd's voice is also heard rebuking Buster. He was born on October 5, 1948 in Trenchtown, a community where music was the upbeat of the populace. It was hard for Wilson to escape the influence of the music around him, and he soon developed an extraordinary talent for singing, dancing, and songwriting. He set about writing his first song in 1962 with the assistance of Lee Perry. Wilson's first appearance drew thunderous applause at the Christmas morning concert at the Carib Theatre, and shortly thereafter he was gobbled up by producer Clement Dodd. Delroy Wilson passed away at a relatively young age on March 6, 1995 at the age of 46. He is said to have died of complications from cirrhosis of the liver. In 2013, he was posthumously awarded the Order of Distinction by the Jamaican government.
I used to listen like Marvin Gaye, Stevie Wonder, and like Lou Rawls, So, by listening to them, I try to put everything together, form my own kind of style of singing.
At number 12, we have Freddie McGregor. Freddie McGregor was born on June 27, 1956. He is considered the youngest child star in Jamaican history. McGregor's music career began when he was 7 years old, when he formed the band The Clarendonians with Peter Austin and Ernest Wilson. He also sang backup for a local ska harmony duet called The Clarendonians. In 1963, he began to record for Studio One label. He was only 7 years old and he was known as Little Freddie. He was also a member of the Generation Gap. McGregor worked with producer Niney, The Observer, during the late 1970s and early 80s. And in the same period, he was part of the resurging of Studio One. His popularity soared in the early 1980s with the release of Bobby Babylon. Other hit songs such as Big Ship, Push Come to Shove, Just Don't Wanna Be Lonely, and I Was Born a Winner, as well as cover version from many early reggae songs. He also worked with producers Junjo Laws, Linval Thompson, and Gussie Clarke. McGregor also recorded as a drummer with artists such as Sugar Minott and Judy Mowat. Freddie has also toured extensively for many years. He secured a licensing agreement with RAS Records in the US and released Come On Over in 1983. Freddie McGregor has had an incredibly steady career. He spanned nearly every stylistic shift in Jamaica's music, from ska, roots reggae, to lovers rock, and he even dabbled in dancehall. In 2023, he suffered a stroke and is now at home recuperating steadily. At number 11, we have Leslie Tucker, known as Junior Tucker. He was born in 1966 in Trenchtown. He started his career in the secular music world, but he has now transitioned into gospel. His first hit was Happy, released when he was 7 years old, and it was a #1 hit single in Jamaica, where he was known as Jamaican Michael Jackson. He performed the tune at the One Love Peace Concert in 1978. He had further hits with his cover version of Same Guy Have All the Luck, and in 1983 he recorded the first version of Mr. Telephone Man, a 1984 top 20 Billboard hit from the New Edition. Tucker has also had a lot of international success. After the death of his father and the birth of his daughter, Tucker went in search of the meaning of life after asking God to show him the way. It was then he gave his life to Christ. He was baptized, and he said that God had led him to move to Florida, where he started performing in churches. Several years later, Tucker became an ordained minister, and he has since moved back to Jamaica since 2015, where he has launched his ministry, the True Word and Worship Center in Kingston. Following at number 10 is Billy Boyo. Billy Boyo was a teenage star of the dancehall. He was born in 1969. Billy Theophilus Rowe was discovered by the legendary producer Henry Junjo Laws when he was 12 years old. He rose to popularity as a teenager in 1982 with the Henry Junjo Laws produced single Wicked She Wicked. This single became a hit because of his innocent 13-year-old voice on the microphone chanting about a wicked girl. In the early 1980s, he recorded hits like One Spliff a Day. His musical career was short-lived and was not heard of since the second half of the 1980s. Billy Boyo died of a brain tumor on the 29th of October 2000 after a 2-month-long struggle with his illness. Another talented child star who came on the scene is Jimmy Cliff. James Chamber was born on the 30th of July 1944 in St. James. He is the only living reggae musician to hold the Order of Merit, which is the highest honor that can be granted by the Jamaican government for achievement in the arts and sciences. He began writing songs while he was still at primary school, while listening to his neighbor's sound system. When he was 14, his father took him to Kingston, where he took on the stage name Jimmy Cliff. At the age of 14, he had released several hit singles, including Hurricane Hattie, At the age of 16, he represented Jamaica at the 1964 to 65 New York World Fair. Shortly after that, his career took off when he was signed by Island Records. Jimmy Cliff has released about 30 albums to date. He is known for hit singles like Many Rivers to Cross, You Can Get It If You Really Want, The Harder They Come, Reggae Night, and also the cover version of Wild World, and I Can See Clearly Now. He has also starred in the film The Harder They Come and Club Paradise. Although not as active as he was years ago, Jimmy Cliff is still performing. He no longer lives in Jamaica, but he is still contributing to the music industry. At number 8, we have Errol Dunkley. Dunkley's recording career began in 1965 when he was just 14 years old. He was born on February 6, 1951, and quickly became interested in music. He started singing at an early age, and at the age of 14, he recorded his song, Gypsy, I Do It, with Roy Shirley. He recorded several singles for Joe Gibbs during 1967 and 68, and then he moved to Cox and Dodd at Studio One in 1969. He went on to recording many hits and was recognized in Jamaica as one of its legendary reggae singers, with chart-topping hits like Black Cinderella, Movie Star, and A Little Way Different. These days, Dunkley lives quietly in Kingston since returning to Jamaica after living overseas for over 20 years, where he made his mark in the United Kingdom. At 72, he still records. His latest album, Cool Runnings, was released in 2021. Liquor John comes in at number 7. Born John McMarrin in 1970, he got the stage name Liquor John because he began performing and recording at the age of 9. He originally started recording for Captain Sinbad, Youth in Progress label, and released his debut single, 51 Storm.
Well, girl, Britney, let's get to the central line now. Now we're safe, you know. I know. Well, Mary J, are you respond to them style?
It was, however, when he started recording with Sugar Minott Youth Promotion Organization that he got his big break. He is considered one of Jamaica's first dancehall artists, performing with sound systems such as Romantic High Five, Kilimanjaro, Gemini, and Volcano Hypo. Liquor John continued recording up until in the 90s. In 1990, Liquor John continued recording up until in the 1990s, where he had a few hit singles. He still continues to this day to record and perform lives, including paying tribute to Sugar Minott and Reggae Sunfest in 2010. These days, not much is heard from Liquor John as he works quietly on his next musical adventure. Coming in at number 6 is QQ. Kareem Dawkins was born on March 9, 1994 and entered the music scene at the age of 9. In 2004, when he was 10 years old, QQ became the second youngest artist in Jamaica to have a hit song, with his reggae song Poverty topping charts and receiving massive airplay both in Jamaica and overseas. Apart from being an anthem in the dancehall, this song went beyond the shores of Jamaica to charts in countries in Europe and the Caribbean.
Everywhere I go, there's 100 or more people running, QQ and this and that, want to take pictures, hug me, want to kiss me, all different types of stuff.
This child star lyrical style transitioned quickly to more upbeat party dancehall tracks that were supplemented by likeable songs such as Tuki, Room Ram, One Drop, Jackhammer, and in 2016 he released cushy wine. QQ has been creating quite an impact in reggae and dancehall and has established himself as an undeniably talented artist. He has performed with many big stars including Rihanna, Missy Elliott, 50 Cent, Sean Kingston, and Chris Brown. He continues to perform and record as a dancehall artist, and his fans are eagerly awaiting another hit single.
Listen, them know, chop on the corner with the girlfriend. Never girlfriend.
And then at number 5 we have Ken Boothe, born Kenneth George Boothe on March 22nd, 1948 in Denham Town. He developed an interest in music at a very tender age and got encouragement from his sister, Alison Clover, who was also an established singer. When he was only 8 years old, he won his first singing contest, and he has never looked back since then. He began his recording career with Winston Stranger Cole, where he released a single entitled World's Fair, Hush and Artibella, and All Your Friends. Thereafter, he released a series of hit singles on the Clement Dodds Studio One label. He has released a total of 21 albums, and in 1974, his golden song titled Everything I Own topped the international chart with an extended stay of 4 weeks at number 1 on the British Top of the Pops chart. At 75, Ken Boothe is still active on the music scene. Making his way on this list at number 4 is Beenie Man. Beenie Man, born Anthony Moses Davis on August 22nd, 1973 in Kingston, Jamaica. His music career began while he was still in school. Although he wasn't the first child with a big dream, he was one that was memorable and stood out. He took a shot at stardom when he was only 8, when he took first prize at the National Teenie Talent Contest. And then he went on also to win the Tasties Talent Contest. And this led to him meeting Junja Laws, who recorded his first song, Too Funny. His exceptional talent and unique voice quickly set him apart from his peers in the 1990s. He gained widespread recognition with hits like Who Am I and King of the Dancehall. Throughout his illustrious career, Beenie Man has garnered numerous awards and accolades in recognition of his musical contribution. His list of accomplishments includes prestigious honors such as Grammy Awards for the Best Reggae Album, solidifying his reputation as a trailblazer in the reggae and dancehall genre.
Come on now. Come on now. If I'm gonna tell me.
And then at number 3, we have Nadine Sutherland, one of the only 2 females on the list. Nadine was born on March 15, 1968, and she began performing in 1979, winning the Tasties Talent Contest that year, beating out Paul Blake and Yellowman. She was the first artist signed by Bob Marley to the Tough Gong label, where they recorded Starvation on the Land. And this was done while she was just 11 years old. She struggled after that to break through as a solo artist. And after touring the US as support singer to Bunny Whalers, she worked as a backup vocalist at Gussie Clarke Music Works Studio. She then went on to work for Donovan Germain at his Penthouse Studio. And it was there that Germain produced her 1993 hit single, Action, which was a collab with Terry Fabulous. She has gone on to have had many excellent performances both overseas and locally. In 2015, she completed a master's degree in cultural studies at the University of the West and recorded with Mad Professor with an album planned. Sutherland has also appeared as a judge on the TV reality show Rising Star, Digicel Rising Stars. And winding down the list at number 2 is Marcia Griffiths. Marcia was born on November 23rd, 1949 in Kingston. She grew up in Trenchtown, where she developed an interest in music from a young age. And so her musical career began at the age of 15 in 1964, where she performed and staged with Byron Lee and the Dragonaires. Her performance was so good that the following day, Ronnie Nasrallah and Clement Dodd both offered her recording contract. She then chose to record for Clement Dodd, where she recorded a series of duets with male singers such as Tony Gregory, You're Mine, Bob Marley, Oh My Darling, Jeff Dixon, Words, and Bob Andy, Always Together, with whom she would have had a relation lasting several years. In 1968, she had her first success as a solo artist with Feel Like Jumping, which, like her other early Studio One solo hits, were written by Bob Andy. Marcia Griffiths is one of the most phenomenal reggae singers of all time, with a career spanning over 50 years. She is currently still active in the music business and is still in the studio recording as we anxiously await another hit from her. And wrapping up the list at number 1 is Dennis Brown. Dennis was born on February 1, 1957 in Kingston, Jamaica. He began his singing career at the age of 9, and his first performance on stage would have been at an end-of-term concert at his school. Dennis had gone on to have many hits. With his hard work, it is said that he has over 78 albums. He was a soulful singer, a talented songwriter who played the guitar and the drum. He sadly passed away at the University Hospital of the West Indies on July 1, 1999. So there you have it, guys. Comment below and let me know if you think there should be anyone else who should have been on this list, which I left off. And also tell me which is your favorite. And once again, thanks for watching and stay tuned for the next video.